So I think it would be fun to take a little walk around and see who's here today and see what's going on at the studios. It is after July 4th. Things begin to get a little quiet around here. Here is Matt, one of the top guys here. He's one of the producers here, and I've been working with Matt quite a while. Matt, how are you today?
Good, I'm great.
So we are kind of walking around the studio, and we're talking to everybody and doing some B-reel. That was the word that I was looking for, doing a little B-reel today.
Okay.
So, so I know that you're the producer of Most Seniority here.
Right.
Look how young he is.
Production director.
He is the production director.
Right.
And I've worked with Matt. He's been a terrific resource for our show, and I'm sure he's, in generally this superb work person here at the station. So you want to talk to us about anything? Anything going on? Anything exciting going on?
We got a lot of stuff exciting going on. We got a big summer concert.
That's right.
We do our Mega Jam every year.
When is that coming up?
Saturday, July 17th.
Oh, I got to put that on my calendar.
Over 20 acts. Some Natasha Bedingfield, Jay Sean, all really big acts. So that's what we're working on now.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Great. So hopefully we'll have a good representation of the Landsman group.
Absolutely.
And some of our lovely young ladies. And great. So we thank you for all your help.
No problem.
And we'll see you over at that event.
Sounds great.
Okay. So here we have the Party 105.3. Their icon, symbol of consistency. A terrific group of people here from the management all the way through. Their DJs and their VJs. This looks like a control area. So we have a map of the island here. Nassau and Suffolk, a big east to west expanse. For those of us who are not familiar with Long Island, so this is the east end of Long Island where a lot of us run during the summer. The Hamptons and these type of places, all great, great summering out there. All the beautiful people are there having a great time. We get into the western Suffolk County, Huntington, Smithtown area, pretty heavily, densely populated. This is areas that will get us close to the city, probably in commuting distance, at least by train. You're looking at approximately 1 hour to get into downtown Manhattan. Obviously, that's the job hub for still a high percentage of the people that live on Long Island. And then, of course, we get into Nassau County, which is really, really congested with all the transportation hubs and the main highways sort of running through those areas. Traffic was, I think, invented there. But it seems like the traffic situation is fairly under control. At least I set up my life so that I would be reverse commuting as opposed to commuting against traffic, so that really changes the quality of your life. All the traffic during rush hour goes from at least as Long Island is, people live east of the city, and a very high percentage of the people who live in Queens, Brooklyn, Queens, and then Nassau County and Suffolk County do commute to the city on a daily basis. Obviously, mass transit has a big part of that commuting, with the Long Island Railroad being one of the most heavily used mass transit systems in the country. And of course, growing up, that was the way we used to get into the city. But of course, there are a lot of people who still like to drive in their car. They go on appointments on the way in. So people want to be a little bit mobile with their automobile. So of course, there's this big traveling to the city early in the morning, starting at probably about 7 a.m. till about 10 a.m. And it could take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours on some really bad days. And then occasionally, if you time it right, the trip in isn't so bad. And then around 3:30, 4 o'clock, the commute starts in the opposite direction, back from west to east. And of course, that can be some very, very significant traffic. So the reverse commuting is where one says, well, is it possible for me to live somewhere in the western side of this whole commute and actually go opposite the traffic? And someone like that was myself, who I decided that one of the things I didn't want to contend with, particularly as a physician, was with reverse commuting. So my wife and I, when we first moved out to the island after I finished my residency, she was working in the Bronx, I was working in east of where we lived. So I would reverse commute, and it's been one of probably the best decision that I've made of all the decisions that I've made in my life. Because it always takes me the exact time, 26 miles, 26 minutes, back and forth. And it's almost like sort of like the perfect commute, a little bit of time in the car. And here is the Fiesta broadcast booth. You can see the color, the colorfulness of La Fiesta 98.5, the only Spanish language station in the New York metropolitan area. for the very much growing and increasingly influential Spanish-speaking population in the New York metropolitan area. Approximately 20% of Long Island's population is actually Spanish-speaking as their primary language, and gaining in influence and purchasing power, and very nicely run businesses and hardworking people. So here's some of the signage, very colorful, as a lot of the Latin culture is. We're very excited about this entity. Here's some of the other signs and things of this nature. So Fiesta is a great resource, and probably a lot of businesses would benefit from advertising on Fiesta. We've had some advertising campaign to the Spanish-speaking community with tremendous results. So people should get onto the Latin stations. So here we go into a little bit more of the nuts and bolts. Here's the, hi, how are you? Good, how's everything? What's going on?
Nice to see you.
Good. So here's some of the more of the nuts and bolts of the place, some of the servers that keep things running. Obviously it's amazing how all this broadcasting to occur with just very few people. And then here's the where I started my little mini career in radio. This is the one of the other Party 105. Good morning. Hi, how are you? You are?
Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. How are you? Just started recently, right? How are you? How's things
Good.
going?
How are you?
Good, good, good. So Stacy has the morning show midday show on Party 105. And the first time I came here, I was working with Nikki at night. Actually, I did her evening show with her one night a week, and I was amazed at of course, it's very difficult to run all this stuff. It's very intimidating to see when you look at it, but Nikki was just like multitasking during her own show. Spinning, turning, recording phone calls coming in, taping them, replaying them, playing commercials, doing her voiceover. It was really an amazing thing. I'm sure Stacy is probably just as adept at this. It's amazing to watch them work. They've grown up with all the technology, and it really is fascinating to see how much they can do on their own. And what it does is, of course, it cuts down on the cost of production, and it makes their talents very valuable. Hopefully it allows them to earn a little bit more money because they don't need as much support. And it's certainly the advertising is very easy for them to play commercials and give some voiceover. So here's the 105.3 booth, and I had fun with Nikki and doing a little co-broadcasting with her. So anyway, have a great day.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you. So that pretty much finishes it up. Although it seems a little bit on the small side, it's a very productive and a very well-run station. And the executives here are wonderful to work with. And that's just about it.